गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू साइक्स एजुकेशन। साइक्स एजुकेशन में आपका स्वागत है। मैथ्स की 10th क्लास की सीरीज ऑफ वीडियोस के अंदर टुडे विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट some applications of trigonometry. In the previous chapter we learned about trigonometry, their various identities and various values of different ratios, trigonometric ratios. In this chapter we'll be discussing about some applications of that. See, आपको पहले था थ्योरी, वो थ्योरी तो पढ़ लिया आपने, अब फाइनली उसका एप्लीकेशन कैसे होने वाला है। अगर वो एप्लीकेशन नहीं पता तो क्या फायदा पढ़ने का। एप्लीकेशन दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग विच यू विल यूज इन फ्यूचर एज वेल। सो चलिए एप्लीकेशन की बात करते हैं। और इस चैप्टर के अंदर दिस चैप्टर कंटेन्स अराउंड 4 to 5 मार्क्स। और इस चैप्टर के अंदर बहुत बेसिकली देयर इज नथिंग टू रिमेंबर, आपको कुछ रटना उठना की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। ओके, if you know the concept you have to only apply those concepts and finally you will be able to do this chapter well. So let's start this chapter. See some applications of trigonometry. 10th class का 9th chapter है and this contains around 4 to 5 marks in board exams. Okay, the total trigonometry contains somewhere around 15 marks. Out of 15 marks, somewhere around 4 to 5 marks are from this particular chapter. Okay, so we have learned about trigonometric ratios, which, okay, there are certain things from the previous chapter which we have to remember here is trigonometric ratios, sine theta, p by h, cos theta, b by h, tan theta, p by b, and various other ratios, cosec, sec, cot. Okay, this is one thing we have to remember. The second thing which you have to remember is the table. Okay, table of different angles and their ratios, sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec, and cot. These ratios, what various angles. Another thing which you have to remember is various identities, that is cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1, 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta, 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta, and tan theta is equal to sine theta by cos theta, cot theta is equal to cos theta by sine theta, and cosec theta 1 by sine theta, sec theta 1 by cos theta, cot theta 1 by tan theta. This is the only thing which you have to remember. This is the only thing which you have to remember. Apart from that, you might have to understand a few definitions. Okay, definitions of, first is what is angle of elevation. What is angle of elevation? So देखिए, अगर आप एक कहीं आप ऊपर देख रहे हैं या फिर आप एक ट्रायंगल है, एक ही ट्रायंगल है, ठीक है, तो जिस एंगल को हम थीटा बोल देते थे, दिस इज द एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन. एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन मींस हम यहाँ नीचे से ऊपर देख रहे हैं, तो एलिवेट मतलब कितने ऊपर देख रहे हैं, उस एंगल को हम एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन बोल देते हैं. ओके, दिस एंगल. The only thing we have to understand here is that angle of elevation is taken from the horizon. Angle of elevation is taken from the horizon. So this is the horizon. So we have to take the angle of elevation from the horizon and not from vertical. Okay. This is not the angle of elevation. So basically you don't have to take this. This is incorrect. So I'll just clear it up. So angle of elevation. What is angle of elevation? Say एक बंदा है जो ऊपर देख रहा है. Okay, if there's some object which he's seeing, so the horizon से जो एंगल है, this is horizontal. Okay, horizon से जो एंगल बनता है उसे एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन बोलते हैं. This is the one important thing which you have to remember. So this is called the line of sight. जहाँ देखा जा रहा है, इसमें तो आदमी सामने देख रहा है लेकिन फिर सामने देखता हुआ लग रहा है, लेकिन this is called the line of sight. जिस ऑब्जेक्ट को वो देख रहा है, और this is the angle of elevation and this is horizon. Okay, horizontal. In the similar manner कि अगर आप हो सकता है आप पहाड़ के ऊपर खड़े हो और पहाड़ के ऊपर खड़े होकर आप नीचे देख रहे हो, तो उस समय पे एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन इज ऊपर की तरफ. ओके, सो इफ यू आर लुकिंग डाउन देन एंगल ऑफ डिप्रेशन होता है. एंगल ऑफ डिप्रेशन. नाउ व्हाट इज दैट एंगल ऑफ डिप्रेशन? कि आप नीचे की तरफ देख रहे हैं, जैसे आप यहाँ पहाड़ के ऊपर खड़े हुए हैं, वहां से आप नीचे देख रहे हैं, तो अगेन प्लीज रिमेंबर दैट दिस एंगल इज फ्रॉम द हॉराइजन. फ्रॉम हॉरिजन से एंगल है. We will not consider this angle. This angle is not covered. Okay, so angle will be from horizon, which you have to measure. So this is called angle of depression. And again, this direction में देख रहा है, that is called line of sight. This object को देख रहा है, that is object, and horizontal line. And this is the observer. Observer means who's making a note of the angles. Okay. So this is what you have to remember in this entire chapter. After that, it's only the application of these values. It's only the application of these values which will come into picture. So let's do certain examples and then we'll come to exercise 9.1. to complete this chapter. Let's start. Okay, a tower stands vertically on the ground. Vertically मतलब सीधा खड़ा हुआ है एक टावर. एक टावर सीधा खड़ा हुआ है. ये लीजिए टावर एक सीधा खड़ा हुआ है. On the ground. From a tower stands vertically on the ground from a point on a ground which is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 60 degrees. एक टावर है और यहां से इन्होंने बोला है कि 15 मीटर अवे, यहां से 15 मीटर अवे, यहां से इसका एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन उसके टॉप का, ये इसका टॉप है, उसके टॉप का एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन जो है दैट कम्स आउट टू बी 60 डिग्री. So what is 60 degree? 60 degree is the angle of elevation. Okay, so I'll just say A, B, C. So a tower stands vertically on the ground from a point on the ground which is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. This is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 60 degree. Find the height of the tower. आपको height बतानी है. This is height. This is आपको height बतानी है. Height मतलब BC बताना है आपको. और I'll okay. Height. I'll just write say height. Okay, height is BC. So now you know that see AB and BC comes in which ratio? Which trigonometric ratio AB and BC comes? So we did multiple questions in the previous exercise. So please tell me that BC and AB comes in which ratio? And you know it, right? It is tan 60 is equal to perpendicular divided by base, right? So tan 60 in this question comes out to be BC or height divided by 15. So what is BC then? BC is equal to 15 into tan 60. What is the value of tan 60? Value of tan 60 is root 3. So it is 15 root 3. So the height of the tower is 15 root 3. So you can write the answer as 15 root 3. You don't have to multiply with 15 with the value of root 3. In case they have given the value of root 3, if they say that, okay, root 3 is equal to 1.732, in those cases you multiply. Okay, if it is not given, then you can write the answer as 15 root 3 and that will be your final answer, 15 root 3 meters. Okay, please write the unit of it. Okay, without unit, the answer will be incorrect. Unit is something which is mandatory to be written. Okay. So we could find the height of the tower. Height is 15 root 3 meters. So coming to the next question. It says, an electrician has to repair an electric fault on a pole 5 meters high. Okay, so there is an electric pole which is 5 meters high. I'll just make the pole here. This is a, this is a 5 meter high pole. Okay, generally electricians in India are not he, but they have mentioned, let's good that we are not biased about gender. So she needs to reach a point 1.3 meter below the top of the pole to undertake the repair work. Okay, तो यहाँ top तक नहीं जाना है उसको 1.3 मीटर नीचे तक ही जाना है, मतलब यहीं तक ही जाना है. So it is 1.3 मीटर. तो ये नीचे का कितना रह गया? 5 minus 1.3. It is 5 minus 1.3. 5 minus 1.3 is 3.7 meters. So this is 3.7 meters and on top of it is 1.3 meters. Okay, so 5 meter on an overall 3.7. So usko yahan tak jana hai. What should be the length of the ladder that she should use when inclined at an angle of 60 degree? Okay, to the horizontal would enable her to reach the required position. Also, how far from the foot of the pole should she place the foot of the ladder? Okay, so we have to find out two things. Okay, there is a ladder which is placed. अब ladder तो ground पे खड़े करेंगे ना, है ना? तो ये horizon है. They are saying this angle is 60 degrees. So they are saying this. What is the length of the ladder? So I'll just write it as A, B, and C. Okay. Now we have to find out AC is equal to question mark, and they want to find out how far they should place the ladder. That is AB is also equal to question mark. So AC is the ladder. ladder is equal to AC, and distance of ladder from base of pole is equal to AB. That is much. And what is given to us? The given is CB. CB is given to us. CB or BC is given to us. That is 3.7. Okay. Now let's see. Let's use the similar ratios which we used earlier. So we used tan. Okay. We know that tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base. Now we'll say tan 60. What is perpendicular? It is BC. Base is AB. Now tan 60, we know the value is √3 is equal to BC. We already know it is 3.7. And AB we have to find out. So AB comes out to be 3.7 divided by √3. Okay. To rationalize the denominator, we'll multiply it by √3 by √3. So it comes as 3.7 √3 divided by 3. Okay. When we compute this value, okay, it comes out to be 6.41 divided by 3, and that comes out to be somewhere around 2.14 or 2.136. Okay, this is the answer which comes. So basically the AB, the length is 2.136. The distance of the base of the pole to the point where the ladder is standing is 2.136. So this is one thing we have already found now. Okay. Now we have to find the second thing. What? AC. So for AC and 3.7 BC, AC and 3.7, this comes in which ratio? It comes in sine. So we know sine theta is equal to perpendicular divided by hypotenuse, and that is equal to 3.7 divided by AC. And what's the value of sine? Here is sine of 60 is equal to 3.7 divided by AC. So here AC comes out to be 3.7 divided by sine 60. And value of sine 60 is √3 by 2. So I'll just say √3 divided by 2. So 2 will come up. Okay. So again, we'll rationalize the denominator here. I'll just multiply it by √3 by √3. So it becomes 3.7 into √3 into 2 divided by 3. Okay, so we already computed some part of it. So it will come as some, we already computed 3.7 √3 by 3 in the previous question. It was 2.136. So here it will be multiplied. This comes as 4.27. That comes out to be 4.27 meters. So it will be 4.27 meters approximately. Okay. Wasn't it pretty simple? We have to only use the ratios and put the values and get the answer. Let's take one more question here. An observer 1.5 meter tall. तो एक बंदा है वो 1.5 मीटर टॉल है. ये बंदा यहाँ पर खड़ा हुआ है हमारा. इधर खड़ा कर देते हैं ऐसे. ये बंदा है हमारा. I'm bad at drawing. Okay, ये बंदा है और इसकी हाइट कितनी है? 1.5 meters. Okay, tall is 28.5 meter away from a chimney. चलिए ये चिमनी है एक यहाँ पर. एक चिमनी है. चिमनी मतलब जहाँ से वो भट्टे बनते हैं या फिर कुछ ईंटें बनती हैं वहां पर कुछ बर्न करने के लिए या फिर ओके इट्स अ बिग चिमनी जहाँ से धुआं निकलता रहता है. ओके सो दिस इज अ चिमनी and how far it is? It's 28.5 meter away from the chimney. Okay. The angle of elevation of the top of the chimney from her eyes is 45 degrees. So उसकी eyes से मतलब उसके top से this angle comes out to be 45 degrees. So angle is always taken from horizon. Angle is always taken from horizon. So what is this angle? This angle. So if I just make it straight, this angle is 45 degrees is what they are saying. Okay, so what is this? This will be 1.5 meters. 1.5 meters. 28.5 meters. See, please understand. See, अब बोलोगे कि आंखें तो सर के ऊपर थोड़ी ना होती हैं, आंखें सर के ऊपर तो नहीं होती हैं. ओके, ये आंखें तो मतलब थोड़ा माथा होता है, फिर माथों के नीचे आंखें आती हैं. बट प्लीज कंसिडर, ओके, दैट मच वी कैन टेक as exception, or you can just omit that, just forget about that. Think as if the person is seeing with his eyes on the top कि 1.5 मीटर हाइट थी, तो 1.5 मीटर से वो देख रहा है. ओके, डोंट से कि 1.5 में सर वो तो 3 इंचेस कम होना चाहिए था ना, क्योंकि आंखें तो 3 इंच नीचे होती हैं. आंखें थोड़ा ना यहाँ पर होती हैं सीधे, वो तो ऊपर माथा होता है, माथे के आगे नीचे आंखें आती हैं. तो सो डोंट कंसिडर दैट, जस्ट डोंट गेट इनटू दोस nitty-gritties. In actual, when we find it, definitely we can go, but here just omit it out. So if it is 28.5 meter distance, so I'll also consider this is also 28.5. Okay, and so this is the height of the tower. This is 1.5 meter. Let's consider this distance from here to here is h. Okay, this distance is h. So or I can write it as a, b, c. Okay, now in which ratio AB and BC comes? AB and BC comes in which ratio? 10. So we'll say 10 of 45 is equal to H divided by 28.5. We know it is tan 45 or tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base. So we have taken H divided by 28.5. So tan 45, the value is 1 is equal to H divided by 28.5. So H comes out to be 28.5 meters. So this is H. H is the distance from B to C. H is the distance from B to C. So what is the height of the tower? The height of the tower is complete. This is the height of the tower. This is the height of the tower. So height of the tower is 28.5 plus वो बंदे की हाइट, लेडी की हाइट थी 1.5. Okay, so they mentioned she, right? The observer. See, observer's height was 1.5 meters. So we have to add that height also. So 28.5 plus 1.5, that comes out to be 30 meters. So chimney is 30 meters tall. So is this part clear? Okay, so coming to next. Okay, from a point P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10-meter tall building is 30 degrees. So there's a 10-meter tall building. There's a 10-meter tall building. This is the building, 10-meter tall. This is 10-meter tall. And angle of elevation from a point P, and angle is always taken from horizon. We'll consider this angle as angle of elevation. This is 30 degrees. Now, a flag is hosted on the top of the building, and the angle of elevation of the top of the flag staff from point P is 45 degrees. So इसके ऊपर एक flag लगा दिया उन्होंने. चलो ये flag है आपका, ये flag है, इसके ऊपर एक झंडा लगा हुआ है. And then the angle of elevation of the top of the flag staff, so it comes out to be 45 degrees. So this angle is 45 degrees. Find the length of the flag staff and the distance of the building from point P. Okay, तो हमारे को पता करना है कि फ्लैग की हाइट कितनी है, दिस फ्लैग की हाइट कितनी है, and find the length of the flag staff and the distance of the building from point B. So if we say A, B, C, so we have to find out AP is the question mark, and we have to find out BC. This is question mark. Okay, so let's take the triangle. I'll just say in triangle APB or APB. In this triangle, we can take tan 30 is equal to AB divided by AP, isn't it? So what's the value of tan 30? So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So I'll just say 1 by root 3 is equal to AB. What is AB? AB is 10 divided by AP. Okay. So AP comes out to be 10 root 3. And they've mentioned that take the value of root 3 as 1.732. So we'll say 10 into 1.732. It comes out to be 17.32 meters. So AP is 17.32 meters. That means the point P is 17.32 meters away from point A, or the base of the tower. This is tower, right? Building. Okay. Then comes, now when we know the base, now we know the base AP. Now we'll take triangle PAC. So in triangle PAC. Okay, PAC is a bigger triangle. Now the angle will be tan 45. Tan of 45. We have to take tan 45 because tan 45, because the angle of elevation of the flagstaff is 45 degrees. So it's tan 45 is equal to AC divided by AP. And the value of tan 45 is 1. That 1 is equal to AC by AP. AP is 17.32. So from here, AC comes out to be, AC is equal to 17.32. So we know that the entire length from here till here is 17.32. So what's the length of the flag? So length of flag will be 17.32 minus the height of the building, that is equal to 7.32 meters. 7.32 meters is a big length. So BC, which is the length of the flag, is 7.32 meters. Okay, guys. Okay, so coming to the next question. It says, the shadow of a tower standing on the level ground is found to be 40 meters longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees than when it is 60 degrees. Find the height of the tower. Okay, so this is a very nice question, and this kind of question generally comes in exam. So where it says, by sun ka elevation is basically sun ka angle of elevation is different at 2 points. So they're saying that the shadow of a tower standing on the level ground is found to be 40 meters longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degrees. So जब sun का altitude होता है 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees, I'll just say. This is 30 and this is 60. So they're saying the length of the shadow. So this is so sun is somewhere here. Let's see, very far. Okay, it is not. Sun is somewhere here. So and at some point of time, sun is somewhere here. So basically, at 30 degrees and 60 degrees are two different places where the sun will be. So the shadow. So this is the shadow, the ground, the horizon which you have made. This is the shadow, and they're saying it is 40 meters longer. Okay, 40 meters longer. So the difference between this and this is 40 meters. Okay, it's 40 meters. Now, we don't know what is the size of the shadow when it is 60 degrees. We have to find out. So find the height of the tower. You have to find the height of the tower. So this is height. And this is, we can consider as X. Okay. And we have to find the height of the tower. So H is equal to question mark. We don't know the height. Okay, to find this, let's find H and X come in which ratio? It comes in tan. So I'll say tan 60 is equal to H by X. Right? What is the value of tan 60 is root 3. So root 3 is equal to H by X, or I can say H is equal to root 3 X. H is equal to root 3 of X. Okay. Now, okay, we have to find h. So let's find out x is equal to h divided by root 3. Okay, we can write it like this. X is equal to h divided by root 3. So it is equal to h divided by root 3. Now, we'll use tan of 30. We'll use the bigger triangle and we'll use tan of 30. What is tan 30? Is equal to h divided by 40 plus h by root 3. So we have to take the complete distance from here till here. What is that? It is 40 plus h by root 3, 40 plus x, you can say. Tan 30. What is tan 30? Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So I'll say 1 by root 3 is equal to h divided by 40 root 3 plus h divided by root 3. Okay. Now I'll cross multiply it. So it comes as 40 root 3 plus h divided by root 3 divided by root 3 is equal to h. Now this will get multiplied here. So it becomes 40 root 3 plus h divided by 3 is equal to h. So from here it comes as h is equal to, or we'll multiply 3 here. So it becomes 3h is equal to 40 root 3 plus h. So we'll move the h other side. It becomes 2h is equal to 40 root 3, and this implies that h is equal to 20 root 3. H is equal to 20 root 3. So it will be 20 root 3. So this is the height of the tower. So because they have not given the value of root 3, we can directly keep the answer as 20 root 3. Or in case you want to multiply, you can multiply 20 with the value of root 3, that is 1.732, and get the answer. Okay. So let's come to the next question. The angles of depression. So now we had the questions for angle of elevation. Now this is the angle for depression of the top and the bottom of a 8-meter tall building from the top of a multi-storied building are 30 degrees and 45 degrees respectively. Find the height of the multi-story building and the distance between the two buildings. Oh, see, there is one building here. This is a building, a big building. And this is a little smaller building. So this is the distance between those buildings. They're seeing the angle of depression of the top and the bottom of a 8-meter tall building. So this building is 8-meter tall. They've already mentioned it. So I just make it as horizon. So this will also be 8. I was saying the angle of depression. So angle of depression, I just. Now, here comes the question that what is angle of depression? So angle of depression is not this. Angle of depression comes from the horizon. Angle of depression comes from the horizon. This is saying this is 30 degrees. Okay. And the angle of depression of the bottom of the building from the horizon is 45. Okay, so you have to understand this part. It is from the horizon. It is not from the vertical. Okay, now, so let's name a few points. This is A, B, C, D, E. Okay, now if this angle is 45, if this angle is 45, this angle will also be 45. Why? See, this is also horizon. This AB line is also horizon, and E, the line passing from E, this is also horizon. I'll just say horizon. Horizon. Okay. So both are 45 degrees. So I'll consider this D distance as X. I'll consider D distance as X. So let's find AB. Let's find AB first. Or from, if this angle is 45 degrees, we know this angle will be 30 degrees. Again, because this is 30, so this angle will also be 30. Now taking finding DC first. We want to find DC. For finding DC, we'll take tan. Tan 30 is equal to X divided by DC. Okay, tan 30 is perpendicular by base. So we consider the triangle. This is the triangle which we considered. So tan 30 is equal to X by DC. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3 is equal to X by DC. So DC comes out to be X root 3 or root 3 X into root 3. DC is X root 3. So I'll just mention it here as root 3 X. This distance is root 3x. So I can say if this is root 3x, AB will also be equal to root 3x. But we don't know x. So how will you find the distance? How will you find the distance? We cannot find till the time we know what is x. Now take another triangle, that is AEB. So in triangle AEB, so again we'll take tan of 45 is equal to, it is 8 plus x divided by root 3 of x. Okay. Now what is tan 45? Tan 45 is 1. So I'll say 1 is equal to 8 plus x divided by root 3x. So when we cross multiply, it becomes root 3x is equal to 8 plus x. We'll move the x to the other side. It becomes root 3x minus x is equal to 8. Or if we put the values here, x common, root 3 minus 1. Root 3 minus 1 is equal to 8. Okay, so root 3 minus 1 is 1.732 minus 1 comes out to be 0.732. So it becomes x is equal to 8 divided by 0.732. So 8 divided by 0.732. So what is that value? Let's find out. So it comes out to be somewhere around 10.93. Comes out to be somewhere around 10.93. So now we know this is 10.93. So what is the height? What is the height of this tower? Height of this building? This building, I'll just say h. This is the height of the building. It will be 8 plus 10.93. So it becomes somewhere around 18.93. So h is equal to somewhere around 18.93 meters. And we have to find the value of AB. AB comes out to be root 3 into x, that is 1.732 multiplied by 10.93. So 1.732 1.732 multiplied by 10.93 comes out to be somewhere around 18.93. It comes out to be somewhere around 18.93. So this was 18.93 meters. Okay. So coming to the next question, it says that from a point on the bridge across a river, the angles of depression of the banks on opposite sides of the river are 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. If the bridge is at a height of 3 meters from the banks, find the width of the river. Okay. So this is a little different question. This kind of question also comes in the exam. Say there is a river. ये एक रिवर है यहाँ पर, ये रिवर फ्लो कर रही है, ओके ये रिवर फ्लो कर रही है और उसके दो बैंक हैं, एक बैंक है ए और एक बैंक है बी, और इसके ऊपर एक ब्रिज बना हुआ है। आई जस्ट मेक अ ब्रिज कि यहाँ से रोड जा रही थी, रोड से ये ब्रिज बना हुआ है और ब्रिज के ऊपर ऐसे करके ये रोड जा रही है और फिर यहाँ से ये नीचे उतर जा रहा है, ओके ये रोड के ऊपर एक ब्रिज बना हुआ है और ब्रिज में एक पॉइंट हमने ले लिया, दिस पॉइंट से P, ओके फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट दे आर सीइंग two angles. This is the first angle, that is 30 degree, and this is another angle. So they are saying dono banks, one is coming as 30 degree and one is 45. So I'll just say this angle is 30 degree and this angle is 45 degree. Okay, please note that angles are always taken from horizon. They are not taken vertically. Okay, so what is the width of the bridge? What's the width of the river, not the bridge? So if I consider this point as Q, so we have to find out AB. What is AB? AB is equal to AQ plus QB. This is what we have to find out. Okay, and what they have given? The height. Height is 3 meters. That means the bridge is 3 meters of height from the river. Okay, now this we know. Now we need to find AQ first. So for finding AQ, we'll say tan 45. We'll say tan, okay, because this is 45, we'll take this angle will also be 45. And then this is 30, this angle will also be 30. And that is why we're taking tan 45 comes out to be PQ divided by AQ. And tan 45 comes out to be 3 divided by AQ. So tan 45, the value is 1. 1 is equal to 3 divided by AQ. This implies that AQ is equal to 3. AQ is equal to 3. I'll just clear it up. AQ is equal to 3 meters. So AQ comes out to be 3 meters. Okay. Now we need to find the value of QB. For QB, we are going to take tan 30. That comes out to be PQ divided by QB. So tan 30, the value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 is equal to PQ is 3 divided by QB. So this implies that QB is equal to 3 root 3. So this value comes out to be 3 root 3. Okay. So if we compute this value 3 root 3 by multiplying it by 1.732, so it comes as 3 into 1.732. So this value will come out to be 1.732. It comes out to be 5.196. So this is 5.196. So the width of the river, we'll say width of the river is equal to AB is equal to 3 plus 5.196 comes out to be 8.196 meters. Okay. I believe you understood. Now, coming to the next question. Okay, so now we have the exercise. A circus artist is climbing a 20-meter long rope. Okay, so there's a circus artist which will be climbing from ground to here on this rope. So this AC is the rope. He's climbing up here. And it's a 20-meter rope, which is tightly stretched and tight from the top of the vertical pole of, to the ground. Okay, find the height of the pole. So you have to find the height, AB. Now you tell me AB and AC comes in which ratio? We know it comes in sine. So we'll take sine of 30 is equal to AB divided by AC. So sine 30, what is the value of sine 30? Sine 30 comes out to be 1 by 2 is equal to AB. AB is, we have to find out, divided by AC 20. So AB comes out to be 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10 meters. AB is equal to 10 meters. It was a pretty simple question. The first question of the exercise, so that's why maybe. So is that clear? So let's come to the next question. A tree breaks during the storm and broken part bends so that the top of the tree touches the ground, making an angle of 30 degrees with it. The distance between the foot of the tree to the point where the top touches the ground is 8 meters. So there is a tree, okay? So this was a tree, big tree from here till here. We'll just make, there's a big tree, okay? And during the storm, it broke from here. It broke from here, and this part, okay, this part say was X. This part say was X. This is broken down and it is touching the ground now. It is touching the ground at an angle of 30 degree. This is touching the ground at an angle of 30 degree. So this will be X again. If this was X, so this will also be X. Now, they're saying the distance between the foot of the tree to the point where the top touches the ground. So this distance is 8 meters. Okay, because the tree has fallen and it is still basically that part is touching the ground at 30 degree angle at 8 meters away. 8 meters is a big tree actually. Okay, and they want to find the height of the tree. So they want to find the height or the original height of the tree. So they want to find this complete distance. Okay, so that is, if this is y, so they want to find x plus y. So they have to find x plus y. So we have to find, if I just did ABC, so we need to find BC plus AC. This is what you have to find because that was the original height of the tree. Okay, now first let's find y. So for finding y, we'll take tan 30. Tan 30 is equal to BC by AB. So BC is equal to AB into tan 30. And what is the value of AB? AB is 8 and tan 30 comes out to be 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3. So it comes out to be 8 divided by root 3. And we'll rationalize the denominator by multiplying by root 3 by root 3. It says root 3 by root 3. So it comes out to be 8 root 3 divided by 3. So the y is equal to 8 root 3 divided by 3. So I'll just keep it as it is for now. And then we'll find AC also. So finding AC, what we'll take? We'll take a cos. We'll take cos because cos covers AB as well as AC. So we'll say cos 30 is equal to AB divided by AC. That comes out to be, this implies cos 30. The value of cos 30 is, root 3 by 2. So we'll say root 3 by 2 is equal to AB is 8 divided by X. So this implies that X is equal to 16 divided by root 3. 16 divided by root 3. Okay. Now, again, we'll rationalize the denominator. It says root 3 by root 3. So it comes as 16 root 3 divided by 3. Now, what we have to find out? We have to find the complete distance. You have to find the complete distance. Complete distance was BC plus AC. Okay, BC plus AC or X plus Y. So X comes out to be, here I'll just write it as 16 root 3 by 3. Now the total distance is X plus Y. So X plus Y, which is the total height of the tree, is 16 root 3 by 3 plus 8 root 3 by 3. So it will become 16 plus 8. This comes out to be 24 root 3 by 3. So we'll cancel it. 3 8s are 24. So it comes out to be 8 root 3. And 8 root 3, what's the value? So if we would have computed it before, then it would have taken a lot of time. Now we have to only multiply 1.732. You have to only multiply 1.732 into 8. So this comes out to be 13.856. 13.856. So this was the length of this was the height of the tree. 13.856 meters. Okay, so please remember computation, multiplications, this should be done at the complete end. If you would have multiplied here, it would have taken some time. If you have multiplied here, it would have taken some time, and then we would have added it. Okay, so it would have taken more time, but when we added them first, we realized that certain things cut out, like this 24 divided by 3, it cut out into, it comes as 8 root 3. So the calculation becomes little smaller. Okay, so coming to the next question now. A contractor plans to install 2 slides for children to park. Okay, to play in a park. For children below the ages of 5 years, she prefers to have a slide whose top is at the height of 1.5 meter and is inclined at an angle of 30 degree. Okay, बच्चों के लिए 30 degree, good, छोटा बच्चों के लिए. Whereas for elder children, she wants to have its steep slide at a height of 3 meters and inclined at a distance of at an angle of 60 degree to the ground. What should be the length of the slide in each case? So there are 2 questions in one. Actually, this is not one question, there are 2 questions. एक बच्चों की स्लाइड है और एक बड़े लोगों की स्लाइड है. तो जो बच्चों की स्लाइड है वो है 1.5 मीटर की उसकी हाइट है और वो 30 डिग्री पे इंक्लाइन कर रही है. बच्चों को चोट ना लगे उसके लिए उन्होंने ज्यादा हाइट नहीं रखी है और इंक्लिनेशन भी ज्यादा रखा है कि स्लोली वो आ जाएंगे नीचे, घिसते घिसते आ जाएंगे. ए बी सी. और एक बड़े बच्चों की स्लाइड है, ये बड़े बच्चों की स्लाइड है. इसको रख देते हैं डी ई एफ. नाउ दिस एंगल इज 60 degree and the height is 3 meters. Okay, so they want to know what should be the length of the slide. Slide की length बतानी है कि slide की length कितनी होगी. That means we have to find out. Here AC is question mark and here DF is question mark. इनकी slide तो बड़े बच्चों को ज्यादा मजा आने वाला भाई. DF is equal to question mark. So let's find out. So in which thing it will come? Both the ratios BC and AC will come in which ratio? It will come in sine. So we'll take sine 30 is equal to BC divided by AC. And sine 30 BC is 1.5 divided by AC is equal to sine 30. Sine 30 value comes out to be 1 by 2. Okay. So this implies that AC is equal to 3 meters. So AC in this case is 3 meters. Pretty simple. Now here we have to find DF. So again, we'll take sine 60 is equal to 3 divided by DF. Okay. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So we'll take, say, root 3 by 2 is equal to 3 by DF, or DF comes out to be 6 divided by root 3. So to rationalize the denominator, what we are going to do? We are going to multiply it by root 3 by root 3. So it comes out to be 6 root 3 by 3, and 3 will cancel out 2. So it becomes 2 root 3. So what we are going to say, it is 2 multiplied by 1.732. So it comes out to be somewhere around 1.7, 70 to 34, somewhere around 3.5 meters, somewhere around 3.5 approximately. So you can compute it properly. So it comes out to be somewhere around 3.5 meters. Okay, ज़्यादा length पे difference नहीं है उनकी. if you see this 3 meters and this 3.5 meters, ज़्यादा length में difference नहीं आया, जबकि height double हो गई थी. Okay, because the angle also inclined. Okay, so coming to the next question. The angle of elevation of top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower, is 30 degree. Okay, so एक टावर है भैया, बड़ा सा टावर है उन्होंने कहा, ये बड़ा सा टावर है, लो जी बना लेते हैं. So the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from a point on the ground. So this is the point on the ground. यहाँ से इस टावर का जो angle of inclination है, that is 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Okay. And this point is 30 meter away from the ground. They're saying, which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. So this is the foot of the tower. This is the foot of the tower. So I'll just say this is A, B. So B point is the foot of the tower. A is the point from where we are, it is the point of observation, and C is the object which we are observing. So it is the tower height which we are observing. So find the height of the tower. So we have to find H. So this is a straightforward question. So we can take it as tan 30 is equal to H divided by 30. And we know that value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So we'll say 1 by root 3 is equal to H by 30, or H is equal to 30 divided by root 3. To solve it, we'll multiply it by root 3, and it comes as 30 root 3 divided by 3. Now 3 will cancel it out, it becomes 10. So answer comes as 10 root 3, and it is 10 multiplied by 1.732. So the answer comes as 17.32 meters. So the height of the tower is 17.32 meters. Good. The computation also was kind of very less. Okay. Coming to the next question. A kite is flying at a height of 60 meters above the ground. Okay. So there is a kite. यहाँ पर एक kite उड़ रही है. ये kite उड़ा रहे हैं हम. ये kite हमारी उड़ रही है. ठीक है. ये kite है. Tiding, 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 tiding. Okay. This is a kite which is flying. So this is 60 meters above the ground. I'll just say this is 60 meters above the ground. Okay. The string attached to the kite is temporarily tied to a point on the ground. The inclination of the string at the ground is 60 degree. यहाँ से ये string जा रही है kite की. Okay, it's straight तो उड़ती नहीं है. Kite कैसे उड़ती है? Incline करके ही उड़ती है. एकदम 90% 90 degree angle पे तो उड़ती नहीं है. So this angle is at 60 degree. 60 degree पे kite हम उड़ा रहे हैं यहाँ पर. Okay. Find the length of the string. So we have to find the length of the string. So I'll just say A, B, C. So what is the question? They want to find out AC. Now tell me, BC and AC comes in which trigonometric ratio? It comes in sine. So we'll say sine 60 is equal to BC divided by AC. So sine 60 value is root 3 by 2 is equal to BC. BC is 60 divided by AC. So what does this imply? This AC is equal to 120 divided by root 3. It becomes 120 divided by root 3. So to rationalize the denominator, what we are going to do? We are going to multiply it by root 3 by root 3. So what does it come? It comes as 120 root 3 divided by 3. Now we'll cut it. It becomes 40 root 3. So that is equal to 40 multiplied by 1.732. So when we multiply 1.732 with the 40, it comes as 69.28. 69.28 meter. So we can say the length is 69.28 meters. The length of the string. Okay. So coming to the next question. A 1.5 meter tall boy is standing at some distance from a 30 meter tall building. Okay, so there is a building which is 30 meter tall. So I'll just take this as a building. we know the height of the building is 30 meter tall, and a boy is 1.5 meter height. Okay, so I'll just say it's 1.5 meter height boy. So I just say this is the boy whose height is 1.5 meters. Okay, and the angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 degree to 60 degree as he walks towards the building. So from here, if I just make this virtual line here, this is 1.5 meters. So the rest distance will be 28.5 meters. Okay. From here, he's looking at the top of the building and the angle of elevation is 30 degree. Now this boy walks towards the building. So this is the building. He's walking towards the building and he comes here. See, he comes here. Now the boy is here. He traveled some distance. He traveled the distance of X and comes here towards the building. And now when he looks at the top, the angle of elevation comes out to be 60 degree. Okay. He walks to the building, find the distance. So we have to find the distance X covered by him. We have to find the distance X covered by him. So it is A, B, C, D. Okay. Now, so we'll make two equations now. Two equations. One is with 30 degree and one is with 60 degree to find the values. And so let's find tan 30. So what is tan 30? So I'll just say tan 30 is equal to, I'll just say this point is P, is equal to dP divided by AC. dP divided by AC, or I can say instead of AC, I can also write say MP. Okay, instead of AC, I can also write it as MP or dP divided by MP. Okay, so MP is more clear because you can see the clear horizontal distance. So what's the value of tan 30? So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to dP. dP we know is 28.5. Okay, it is not 30, it is 28.5 because he's because his height is 1.5 meter, and when he's standing and seeing, so 1.5 meter we have to deduct from the total height of the tower. So 28.5 divided by MP. So MP comes out to be 28.5 root 3. So this complete distance from here to here, it comes out to be 28.5 root 3. 28.5 root 3, this complete distance. Okay. Now, this is the first equation. Now, second equation we'll find with tan 30. Tan 60, sorry, not tan 30, tan 60. I'll just say this point is Q. Tan 30 is equal to dP by QP. Now, what is tan 30? Tan 30, the value comes out to be root 3 is equal to dP is 30 divided by QP. Now, QP comes out to be 30 divided by root 3. If we rationalize the denominator, it comes out to be 30 root 3 divided by 3. So it comes out to be 10 root 3. Okay. When we say it is 10 root 3, this comes as 10 root 3. Now we have to find X. So X is equal to, we can say it is MP minus QP. That is X. So MP is 28.5, 28.5 root 3 minus QP is 10 root 3. So this value comes out to be 18.5 root 3. And if we multiply this, it comes to, so it comes out to be somewhere around 32.04 meters. So he traveled, the distance traveled by him is 32.04 meters. Okay, so coming to this question, it says from the point on the ground, the angle of elevation of the bottom and top of a transmission tower fixed on the top of 20-meter building. So first we'll make a 20-meter building. So this is a 20-meter building. This is 20 meter. This is a 20-meter building, and we are seeing. So there is a transmission tower on top of it. There's a transmission tower on top of it. So this is say this is the transmission tower. I'll just make this is a transmission tower on top of it. Okay, this is the transmission tower. TT. I'll just say TT, transmission tower. Okay, they're saying from a point on the ground, if I look at the transmission tower, the base of the transmission tower and the top of the transmission tower, the angles will be different. So they're saying that the first angle is 45 and the bigger angle is 60. Okay, so I'll just mark it as A, B, C, and D. So again, we need to find the height of the tower. What is the height of the tower? So we can find the height of the tower above the ground. So we'll find the tower is TT. So let's first find out from tan 45, because tan 45 is easier, because we know tan 45, the value comes out to be 1. It is CB divided by AB. Tan 45 is 1 is equal to CB is 20 divided by AB. So AB comes out to be 20. So the value of AB comes out to be 20. Okay. Now let's find the complete height from D to B. D. Okay. That we can find with the help of tan 60. So tan 60 comes out to be DB divided by AB. And we know tan 60, the value of tan 60 is equal to √3 is equal to DB divided by, what's the value of AB? AB we know is 20. So we are putting the value. So this gives DB is equal to 20 √3. So when DB is equal to 20 √3, so we can multiply it, or okay, we need to find the height, the TT. So TT or is equal to DC is equal to 20 √3 minus the height of the tower. So it becomes 20 common. It becomes √3 minus 1. So it becomes 20 multiplied by, we know that √3 is 1.732 minus 1. So it becomes 20 multiplied by 0.732. So 20 multiplied by 0.732. So it comes out to be 14.64 meters. So height of the tower is 14.64 meters. It's 14.64 meters. Okay, guys. So coming to the next question. It says a statue 1.6 meter tall stands on the top of a pedestal. Okay, so again, there is a pedestal. Okay, so let's say this is a pedestal. This is the pedestal, and there is a statue 1.6. Let's say 1.6. This is the statue. It is 1.6 meter tall. Okay, from the point on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of the statue is 60 degrees. So we'll just take this is the point on the ground. The top of the statue is 60 degree angle. This is 60 degree. And from the same point, the angle of elevation of the top of the pedestal is 45. Oh, it is a similar question. So I'll just say this angle is 45. Okay. Find the height of the pedestal. We have to find the side of the pedestal. Okay, so it is A, B, C, and D. So let's find with the help of, so if this distance is X, this distance is X. So we'll say tan 45 is equal to X divided by AB. Right? So because we have to find X. X is the height of the pedestal. So tan 45 is 1. 1 is equal to X divided by AB. And this gives us the value that AB is equal to X. That means the distance from which we are seeing the pedestrian and the that particular stand is X. Now, from this, let's find out the height of the top height of the pedestrian. So it's say 1060 is equal to, I'll say 1.6 plus X, because the entire height is 1.6 plus X divided by X. We have already found AB is equal to X. We have already found AB is equal to X. So if we have to go a little back, it'll say DB divided by AB, right? So DB is 1.6 plus X and AB is X. So I've mentioned 1.6 plus X divided by X. So what's the value of 1060? We know it is root 3. So it becomes root 3 is equal to 1.6 plus X divided by X. Now it says root 3X is equal to 1.6 plus X. Now, if I take X on the other side, it becomes, this implies that root 3X minus X is equal to 1.6. And what does it give? It gives root X common, root 3 minus 1 is equal to 1.6 meters. So X is equal to 1.6 divided by 0.732. 1.6 divided by 0.732. So we'll just compute it. 1.6 divided by 0.732, and it comes out to be somewhere around 2.185 meters. Comes out to be 2.185 meters. So we can say that the height of pedestrian is 2.185 meters. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Okay, the angle of elevation of the top of a building from the foot of a tower is 30 degrees. So there is a tower and there's a building. I don't know which one is big. So I'll just say the angle is 30 degrees. I'll just take this as 30 degrees here. So this side is building, and this is the tower. So the angle of elevation of top of a building from the foot of a tower is 30 degrees. So this angle comes out to be 30 degrees. And the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the foot of the building is 60 degrees. So this angle is 60 degrees. So 60 degrees, that means the tower is little higher than this. So I'll just make this the tower. This angle is 60 degrees. If the tower is 50 meters high, tower is 50 meters high. Find the height of the building. Okay, we'll find it. So from the tower, okay, if you look at this question, from the tower, first we'll find the distance between the tower and the building. So I'll just say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this point here is D. Okay, so from the height of the tower, first we'll find the height, the distance between A and B. So we'll say tan 60 is equal to TA divided by AB. So tan 60 is root 3 is equal to DA is 50 divided by AB. So AB comes out to be 50 divided by root 3. And if we rationalize the denominator, this comes as 50 root 3 by 3. So distance here is 50 root 3 by 3. See, but we are not computing it. We are not calculating it 50 multiplied by 1.732 and then dividing by 3. We are not doing it as of now. We'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. Now, okay, now looking at the triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC, okay, we can say tan 30 is equal to BC divided by AB. So what is the value of tan 30? Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to, so it becomes BC divided by 50 root 3 by 3. Okay. So this implies that BC is equal to 50 root 3 by 3 multiplied by 1 by root 3. Okay, we cross multiplied on top. So root 3 will cancel out with root 3. So BC comes out to be 50 divided by 3. So BC comes out to be 50 divided by 3. So if we divided it, 3, 1's a 3, 20, 3, 6's a 18, then 20, then again 16.6. 16.6 meters is the height of the building. Okay. So coming to the next question. It says, two poles of equal height are standing opposite to each other on either side of the road, which is 80 meters wide. So there is the road. This is a pole. This is the road. And they're saying equal height. So let me just say this is the 80 meter wide road, 80 meter wide road. So two poles of equal height are standing opposite to each other on either side of the road, which is 80 meters wide. From the point between them on the road, the angle of elevation of the top of the poles are 60 degree and 30 degree. So this is one point here. From here, if I look at the top of the pole here, this comes out to be 30 degrees. And if I look at the other side, it comes out to be 60. So see, if this side is X, if I consider this side is X, the other side will be 80 minus X, isn't it? And the height of the pole is say Y, this is also Y. Both sides is same. Okay. So now from, I'll just mark it as A, B, C, D, E. So if I take the first triangle, ABC, so in triangle ABC, I can say tan 60 is equal to Y by X. So tan 60 is root 3. Tan 60 is root 3. So I'll say root 3 is equal to Y by X. And from here, X comes out to be, this implies X is equal to Y divided by root 3 on, if I just, okay, what is this? Find the height of the poles. Find the height of the poles and distance between. So we have to find both X and Y. So we can find out anything before. So if I say X, or I'll just clear it up. So eraser. So this implies that Y is equal to root 3x. Y is equal to root 3x. This is equal to root 3x. So if this is root 3x, this is also equal to root 3x. Okay. Now coming to the next one. We'll take the triangle. In triangle BDE, we'll say tan 30 is equal to Y by 80 minus X. Right. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So we'll say 1 by root 3 is equal to Y divided by 80 minus X. So if we cross, I'm putting the value of Y here. Y is root 3x. So this implies that 1 by root 3 is equal to root 3x divided by 80 minus x. And what does this imply? If I cross multiply, it becomes 80 minus x is equal to 3x. So if I take x to the other side, it implies that 4x is equal to 80 and x is equal to 40 divided by 80 divided by 4, that is 20. So x comes out to be 20. So this value is 20 here, and this is 60. Okay, so the total, they're saying find the height of the poles and the distance of the point from the poles. So from one pole it is 20 meters, and from other pole it is 60 meters. So this is first thing we have to find out. And now we have to find the value of y, the height of the pole. So y is equal to root 3x. That is equal to root 3. That is, I can write as 1.732 multiplied by 20. So 1.732 multiplied by 20 is 34.64. It comes out to be 34.64 meters. So height of the pole is 34.64 meters. So coming to the next question, it says a TV tower stands vertically on the bank of a canal. From a point on the other bank directly opposite to the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 60 degree. So the figure is already made here. So you can see there is a tower. So this is the canal. BC is the canal. It's a BC is equal to canal. Okay, BC is equal to canal. So this is the canal from here to here. Okay, this is the other shore of that. From another point 20 meters away from this point, on the line joining this point to the foot of the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 30 degree. Okay, find the height of the tower and the width of the canal. So if I say we have to find the x and we have to find h. X is the width of the canal and h is the height of the tower. Okay, so let's first take a triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, we'll say tan 60 is equal to h divided by x. So tan 60, we know it's root 3 is equal to h divided by x. This implies that h is equal to root 3x. So this is our first equation. Now, coming to, we'll take the bigger triangle, that is ADB. So in triangle ADB, we'll say tan of 30 degrees is equal to h divided by dB. I'm taking the distance from the point D to the tower itself, dB. So this implies, look at tan 30, we know it is 1 by root 3 is equal to h. So instead of h, we'll put the value of h, that is root 3x. So we are putting the value of h from here divided by dB. Okay, so that gives us dB is equal to 3 times x. dB is equal to 3 times x. Now we know that dB is equal to x plus 20. So this is second equation, and we know dB is equal to 20 plus x. So instead of dB, we'll put 20 plus x. So it comes 20 plus x is equal to 3x. So this gives us 2x is equal to 20 and x is equal to 10. What does it mean? That means the width of the canal, BC, width of the canal is x. So we can say width of canal is equal to x is equal to 10 meters. That is one thing. Now we already know that h is equal to root 3x. That means root 3 multiplied by 10, that is 1.73 multiplied by 10, it comes as 17.3 meters. The height of the tower is 17.3 meters. Okay, so coming to the next question. From the top of a 7-meter high building, the angle of elevation of the top of a cable tower is 60 degrees and the angle of depression of its foot is 45 degrees. Determine the height of the tower. So here we have to make a figure. This is a big tower we have to make. And there is a building which is 7 meters high. I'll just make a building which is 7 meters high. They are both standing on the same ground. Height of the building is 7 meters. 7 meters. And when we say the angle of elevation of, this is the tower here. So the angle of elevation to the top of the tower is, it's mentioned as 60 degrees. And angle of depression to the foot is 45 degrees. So this comes as 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. Okay. So if this is 45, we can also say that this is also 45. Right? I'll just name things. This is A, B, C, D, and point E. Now, what to determine the height of the tower? So we have to find the height of the tower. So if, see, if DA is equal to BC or CB is equal to 7 meters. So I can write this is as 7 meters. Okay. To find the height of the tower, let me find AB first. So for AB, we have to take DA and AB, the ratio. That means we have to take tan 45. Tan 45 is equal to DA divided by AB. Right? So tan 45 is 1 is equal to DA is 7 meters or 7. I'll write it as 7 divided by AB. So AB comes out to be 7 meters. So AB is 7 meters. So if AB is 7, we can say DC is equal to 7 meters. So DC is also 7 meters. Now, we know one in triangle EDC. In triangle EDC, we know the angle and one side. And we have to find another side, EC. So let's take tan 60 is equal to EC divided by DC. So tan 60 is, we know it's root 3 is equal to EC divided by DC is 7. So from here, EC comes out to be 7 root 3. Okay. So EC comes out to be 7 root 3. Now, the height of the tower. So height of tower is equal to 7 meters plus 7 root 3 meters. So 7 is common here. So it comes as 1 plus root 3. So we'll multiply it 7 into 1 plus 1.732. So it comes out to be 7 multiplied by 2.732. 7 multiplied by 2.732. And this comes out to be 19.124. So height of the complete tower is 19.124 from here to here. This will determine the height of the tower. It's 19.124 meters. Please don't forget to write meters or the unit, else you will lose on certain marks. Okay. So coming to the next question. As observed from the top of a 75-meter high lighthouse from the sea level, the angle of depression of two ships are 30 degree and 45 degree. If one ship is exactly behind the other on the same side of the lighthouse, find the distance between the two ships. Okay. So they're saying there's a lighthouse here. So I'll just make a lighthouse. Ding, ding, ding. This is the lighthouse. And this lighthouse is 75 meter high. 75 meter high. Now, the angle of depression of two ships. So there is one ship here. One ship. There is one ship here. And there is one ship here. So both are, they're saying they are the same line. Both the ships are in same line on the sea. So for one ship, the angle of depression comes out to be 30 degrees. And for other, the angle of depression comes out to be 45 degrees. So when we have to make an angle of depression, we have to make it from the horizon. So please remember this part telling you multiple times the angle of depression or angle of elevation is always made from the horizon. So this angle comes out to be 30 and this angle is 45. So what it implies that this angle is 45 and this angle comes out to be 30. Now just name these points. Okay. Now the height of the tower is already given 75 meters. Now let's see, find the distance between the ships. So we have to find this value of x, BC. So BC is equal to question mark. This is what we have to find out. Okay. So let's first find out the complete distance AB or AC. Let's find AC. For finding AC, what will we do? We'll say tan of 30 is equal to tan of 30 is equal to dA divided by AC. What is dA? dA is given as 75 divided by AC. What is tan 30? The value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to 75 divided by AC, which implies that AC is equal to 75 root 3. Okay, so this is your first equation. So this entire distance is 75 root 3 from here to here. Now, we have to find AB now. For AB, we'll say tan 45 is equal to dA divided by AB. So tan 45 is equal to 1 is equal to 75 divided by AB. And it implies that AB is equal to 75. Now we have to find BC. So BC is equal to AC minus AB. So from first and second equation, we can say it is 75 root 3 minus 75, right? Or we can take 75 as common. It becomes root 3 minus 1. And what does it give us? This gives us 75 multiplied by 1.732 minus 1, or it gives 75 multiplied by 0.732. So this value comes out to be 75 multiplied by 0.732. It comes out to be 54.9 meters. So the distance between the ships is 54.9 meters. Okay. So coming to the next question. Now this question, the photograph is, the figure is already given. A 1.2 meter tall girl spots a balloon moving with the wind in the horizontal line at a height of 88.4 meter. Okay, so she saw there is a balloon which is moving at the height of 88.2 meter from the ground. So I'll just say this a complete height from the ground. From the ground, the height is 88.2. Okay, so what is the height from the girls? Because girl is 1.2 meter high. So 1.2 meter high. So we can say the distance from here till here, 88.2 minus 1.2 comes as 87. So it comes out to be 87 from here to here. And then this distance is 1.2. So 87 and 1.2 becomes 88.2. So what we have to find out, the angle of elevation of the balloon from the eyes of the girl at a distance is 60 degree. Okay. After some time, the angle of elevation reduces to 30 degrees. Find the distance traveled by the balloon during the interval. So after some time, the balloon elevation becomes 30 degrees. So from 60 degrees becomes 60 degrees because it is flying some distance. So we need to find out this distance, the distance traveled by the balloon. So we have to find the distance from here till here. This is the distance which has traveled. This is the distance traveled by the balloon. This is the distance which you have to find out. Okay. So let's find out the same thing. Now, So first we'll take, I'll just take this point as A. I'll take this as B. Okay, B. And this is C. I'll take it as D. And this is as E. Okay, so in triangle ABC. So I'll just say in triangle ABC, I can say that tan 60 is equal to 87 divided by AB. Tan 60 is root 3. So we can say AB is equal to 87 divided by root 3. When if we want to rationalize, it becomes root 3 by root 3. So it comes out to be 87 root 3 divided by 3. And when we cut it, it becomes 3 2s are 6 and 3 9s are 27. So 29 root 3. So the distance AB, this distance from here to here is 29 root 3. Okay. Now let's find the complete distance and then we subtract from the original distance. So this will also be 87. 87 from here till here. Right. So now taking the triangle AED. So in triangle AED, we'll say tan of 30 is equal to ED divided by AD. Okay. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So we'll say 1 by root 3 is equal to ED is 87 divided by AD. Okay, AD we don't know. So we'll write AD as this. So what is AD? So AD comes as 87 root 3. So this complete distance is 87 root 3. Now we have to find BD. So BD is equal to, so this is first equation and this is second equation. So BD is equal to AD minus AB. So let's put the values. So AD is 87 root 3 minus 29 root 3. So here root 3 comes as common. It becomes 87 minus 29. So 87 minus 29 minus 29. It comes as 58. 58 root 3. It comes as 100.456. So the distance between the balloon is 100.456. So the distance traveled by the balloon is 100.456. See, in some questions, they can also ask that it has traveled that distance within 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then you find the speed of the balloon. So when we have the distance, we have the time. From distance and time, we can find the speed. Okay. So coming to the next question. A straight highway leads to the foot of the tower. So there's a straight highway. It's going straight, leads to the foot of a tower. So there is a tower. It's top of this is a tower. Okay. Okay, a man is standing at the top of the tower, observes a car at an angle of depression of 30 degrees. So there is a person who's standing on the tower. What is he doing on the tower? Maybe observing. Chalo. So he saw there is one car. See, and the angle of depression here is 30 degrees. So this is 30 degrees. Again, I'm telling you that we have to take the angle from the horizon and not from vertical. What is the, okay, which is approaching the foot of the tower. So the car is moving in this direction. Car is moving in this direction. Tower with a uniform speed. So the speed of the car is constant. 6 seconds later, the angle of depression of the car is found to be 60 degrees. Now the angle of depression has come to say 60 degrees. Now this angle is 60. That means this angle is 60. Okay, and this has happened after 6 seconds. This has happened after 6 seconds. The time taken is 6 seconds. Okay, find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point. So they want to know from here, how much time will it take for car to reach the foot of the tower? Okay, how much time will it take? Okay, so let's find out. Say the height of the tower is say h. And we'll just mark it A, B, C, D. Okay. So let's compute the distances in terms of h. So we'll say tan 30 is equal to h divided by AC. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to h divided by AC. So AC, the distance, is equal to h root 3. So this complete distance is h root 3. This complete distance is h root 3. Okay, so now I want to find out what is AB here. So to find what is the speed of the car. So on the basis of the speed, we'll see how much distance is going to, how much time is going to cover. So AC is equal to h root 3, the entire distance. Now we'll find from tan 60. Tan 60 is equal to h divided by BC. So tan 60 is root 3 is equal to h divided by BC. So BC comes out to be h divided by root 3. So let's multiply with by root 3. So it comes as h root 3 by 3. So BC distance, this distance is h root 3 by 3. This is the distance. Now we know that the distance covered by the car in 6 seconds. But the distance covered by the car in 6 seconds is AC minus AB. So what is AC minus AB? So we want to find out AC minus AB is equal to h root 3 minus h root 3 divided by 3. Okay, so this is the distance. This is the distance covered. Distance covered by car. Okay. So if I take h root 3 common, it becomes 1 minus 1 by 3. So it becomes 1 minus 1 by 3 is 3 minus 1 by 3. So it becomes 2 by 3. 2 by 3 into h root 3, or you can say 2 root 3h. We can say 2 root 3h divided by 3. So this is the distance traveled by the car in 6 seconds. Now, if this is the distance traveled by the car in 6 seconds, we can find the speed of the car. So the speed of the car, speed is equal to distance by time. So speed of the car comes out to be, distance is 2 root 3h divided by 3 divided by 6. So if I take it, it becomes 2 root 3h divided by 3 into 6. So 2 3s are 6. So the speed comes out to be root 3h divided by 9. So this is the speed. This is the speed of the car. Now, with this speed, it has to travel some distance. How much distance it travel? It has to travel BC as distance. So we want to know how much time it's going to take. So let's compute the time it requires to cover. So we'll take it here. So we know time is equal to distance divided by speed. Okay, so time, we know distance is h root 3 by 3. So this is the distance we need to travel divided by speed. Speed is root 3h divided by 9. So what does this implies? This implies h root 3 by 3 multiplied by 9 by root 3h. Now root 3h will cancel out root 3. It becomes 3. 3 so it's going to take 3 seconds. It's going to take 3 seconds to cover the entire distance. From here to here, from B to C, it's going to take 3 more seconds to cover the entire distance. Okay, so there are other methods also where we can compare the ratios and then we can find out. Okay, but I felt we should do in the direct method. So coming to the next question. Oh, so we have finished the exercise. So that means this part is covered. Our applications of trigonometry and height and distance is covered. See, one of these kind of questions will come in exam, and it's a pretty simple exercise. You can complete it within 1 or 2 hours, and this will give you minimum 4 to 5 marks in the exam. So please go through the entire chapter from beginning to the end. In case you have any queries, you can write in the comments, and me or my team will revert to you on that. Okay, take care. Happy studying, and please subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye. Take care.